lips, and my mouth shall declare thy praise. Good morning.
Good morning.
It couldn't have been planned any better than the way it happened this morning. You know what I'm talking about? There is an incredible event that took place, or taken place this morning. We experience today holy baptism. And this is the beginning of all things. And the gospel assigned for today's reading in the period of Triodion, as we approach Great Lent. This is the last judgment. The reading of St. Matthew about the last judgment. Baptism brings us. It is the beginning of all good things, wonderful things. And the intention of God through baptism that all will be saved. God does not want anyone to go to hell. God does not desire anyone that would suffer in eternity. He wants everyone to go into the place and the land of blessedness. But He gave us choice. He gave us the seal of baptism to preserve us and keep us. He gave us all the elements to make the right choices. But the end of day and the end of life, it's your and my choice. I make choice to be Christian every single day. Believe me. And I see so many of you. I hear you. I hear your confessions. And I know you make the same choice every single day. And every day, even though you struggle to keep that covenant that you have made with God at the day of your baptism, I know you struggle. But you still persevere and you stay and you keep the faith. But there are people of their own doing, of their own choice, choose to be different. Choose not to obey. And even our own family members, they choose to live their lives the way they want it. Despite the fact that you raise them to faith, you teach them, you give them everything. Hopefully, by God's grace, they will come back. But if they don't come back on the final day of judgment, the Lord is going to be seated on His throne of His glory, accompanied by all His angels. And He will begin to separate one from the other. The Lord used farm language. And He said He will separate the sheep. And He will tell the sheep, come to my right, and to the goats, come to my left. It is symbolic. But the final day is real. And there will be separation. A couple days ago, I was driving on Riverview. And there were about a pile of hay, about at least 6 to 8 feet. On the way down here, probably you've seen it. Those that come on this way, I'm sure you've seen it over and over. It's feed for the animals. I looked up there and I saw a creature on top of a huge pile. I looked closely, and it was not a horse. And I was able to identify that it was not a cow. And it was not a sheep. But it was a goat. Whatever possessed you to climb up there? I can understand a dog, a cat, or something. But what's the purpose of going on top of everything? Because when you ask the goat why, because I can. Why are you doing this? Because I can. And God gave us a choice. Gave us a choice to be Christian, and when we're Christian, we're on our own. You're not Muslims. Muslims, they have no choice. Once you make that commitment, you can't back out. Or there is a separation of head from the rest of the body. We've seen it so vividly in videos of recent years. But God, the way He created us with the most important thing, ability to say no to Him. Because why would He give you a reward for doing things that you don't choose? Why would God give us a reward when we have no choice in the matter? Just like working for a company. And the boss signs the check and you get a check. Well, you know, my boss is not nice. He doesn't say thank you, and he doesn't treat me good. You know, all what he wants me to do is do my job. And you know what? I got news for you. Do your job. You know that paycheck that you receive bi-weekly or every week or monthly? That's the biggest thank you you can ever deserve. Do you want a thank you or you want the check? You're hired to do it. You're getting paid for it. The Christian faith is voluntary. No one forces you, especially in this country. No one makes you to show up to church. Even if I use all kinds of manipulation and encouragement and the power of persuasion to get you to come to church, especially to come early. You're always making that choice. You're always making that choice because God gave you that ability to make a choice. But guess what? At the end of the day, the choice you make determines who you become. The choice you make will take you places perhaps you don't want to go to. And the choices you make sometimes take you exactly where you're wanting or where you're intending to go. God's heart to have you be saved and be united with Him, not only on the last day, but on the first day, on the day of baptism, on the week after baptism, on the week and the month after baptism. He wants to have a relationship with you. Salvation is nothing other than being in relationship with the Lord. And that relationship, like marriage, the way we believe in the Orthodox faith, it's for life. It's for life. Salvation is for life. It's intended for all of us to be in Him and with Him, and He is in us. Falling away from God's grace, it means not having that relationship. We sever that relationship. And believe me, it's not God who is severing relationship. It's us severing relationship with Him. And